Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom. This is the brother Ra'aya with another lesson, and I'm going to start it off in Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 1 to 3. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say upon me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that's exactly what the men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, chiefly through GMS or Great Millstone, as well as the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS, who are constantly going into biblical prophecy, are doing, standing upon their watch, watching the news, and then filtering it through the scriptures. 2, as it says in verse 2, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. We go out onto the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up these video epistles online, writing down the vision and making it plain that the hopeful elect, when they hear these words, come back to their power. Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And all these prophecies in the scriptures will come to pass, no matter how long it may seem to be taking to come to pass. And the major prophecy we are waiting for to come to its fulfillment right now is the fulfillment of Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 18. The rollout and mandatory implementation of the MARKOFTHEBEAST, which is the RFID/NFC C-HIP implant. And all this talk of biometrics, CBDCs or central bank digital currencies, a cashless society, is all just a stepping stone towards the rollout of, the C-HIP implant. And that brings me to the article I'll be going into in this lesson on biometricupdate.com, titled U.S. Poised for Progress Towards Biometrics-Backed Digital ID in 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, as Apostle Tahar has deemed it. And this article was published on January 22nd of 2024, and we're in June. And what are we seeing? Talks of biometrics. They're already talking about the, I believe, either the second or the third human trial of Elon Musk's Neuralink, which is a part of that mark in the forehead, and just more and more talks of people getting C-HIPs in them for everyday daily uses. And these digital IDs and all these other things are eventually going to be rolled onto that C-HIP implant. So to you false prophets out there and these other camps that are saying that the MOTB is anything else but the C-HIP implant, hey, soon you're not going to have much more to say, and the judgment of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is going to come upon you for leading so many Israelites astray, lest ye repent. But let's get into this article. Most Americans have become comfortable using face and fingerprint biometrics as a way to unlock their mobile phones. Hey, that analogy of boiling the frog. They're not just going to come at you with the C-HIP all at once. Through the years, they've been steadily turning up the temperature of that water to get you accustomed to it and not notice it. Credit cards to mobile payments on your phone with these different apps, facial scans and palm print scans like what they have with Amazon One at Whole Foods, eventually to that C-HIP. And by the time it's rolled out, hey, you won't notice, just like that frog, that you've been boiled alive in that water. In 2024, the number of Americans using digital IDs and biometric verification to pass more quickly through airport checkpoints will start to catch up. And look at the advertisement they have. Mannix, Palm Scanner. Hey, let's go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, that he, being the elite ruler of the planets right now, who are of the nation of Esau, Edom, or these so-called white people, such as your Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, etc., etc. And, brothers have been doing videos recently on that old clip of K. Schwab, former head of the WEF, from 2017, it's resurfaced where he was talking about how people are going to have C-hips in them, especially in their forehead. So what? Their thoughts and emotions can be read. Everything is perfectly lining up with biblical prophecy. But again, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, everyone in society to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. What this article just say, most Americans have become comfortable using face, your forehead, and fingerprints, your hand, biometrics as a way to unlock their mobile phones. A growing number of state agencies that issue identity credentials like driver's licenses are working to make digital IDs available to residents in the form of mobile driver's licenses, MDLs. They are also collaborating with federal officials to give Americans a faster option for security checks and flight boarding. This introduction of digital ID in a way that makes things easier for people will reframe the way numerous air travelers think about the technology and bring a base of informed users to the popular dialogue about how people should establish trust. And that's how this devil's coming, with convenience, making life easier and simpler with this technology. Little do you know, he's building that cage around you. Again, like that frog, he's slowly turning up the heat of that water before it's too late. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan, and you have the spiritual demon Satan, which is the top left-handed angel of the Most High, and you have his physical counterpart on earth, these Edomites, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, because to the elect, they have the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai on them, the Rakak Kodash, to understand the scriptures and see, these things coming to pass right before our very eyes are lining up with biblical prophecy. For we are not ignorant of his devices, and we see right through Esau Edom's machinations to bring about this digital, cashless, biometric identification society. It's not for convenience, but it's for total control, to lock you on the grid so that you have no way to escape. This is Psalms 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Oh, you don't need to carry your credit card. You don't need to carry your wallet on you. You don't need to carry your medical identification. You can have all that stuff on a digital ID, on a C-hip. You won't have to worry about it getting stolen because it's going to be inside your body. Oh, look, you can go through the fast lane. No more long lines. No more unaccounted for money. Everything's going to be right at the touch of your fingertips. But war was in his heart, having you locked into the system. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You buck up against the system, will turn your C-hip off, will make you a pariah to where you won't be able to do anything in society. You won't be able to get your C-hip turned back on unless you get back on board with, the rule of law, the laws of this NW0, this great RESET, that fourth industrial revolution they want to bring about. Back in Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, And it's going to get to the point to where you won't be able to get a job, travel abroad, hey, have access to the internet, do anything save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And we got an example of this during 2019 to 2021 with the C019 people that didn't want to get the Pokemon in them. What happened? They faced losing their jobs. They couldn't go into certain establishments. They couldn't travel on different public transportation, etc., etc. And it's going to get so, critical out here with the rollout and mandatory implementation of this CHIP that you will be faced with being put to death for not taking it. Up in verse 15, and he, again, the elites of these Edomites, had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And the image of the beast are the financial, political, and military aspects of this beast system we're currently living in. The last leg of the fourth beast in Daniel chapter 2, those iron toes mixed with miry clay, the reincarnated Roman Empire, this NATO EU system that the U.S. is a part of and at the head of, and who's the puppet master at the top. These elites. And this CHIP is going to be a major aspect of the image of the beast. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Just like these different countries that don't want to go along with democracy, or these or the alphabet agenda, or anything the West pushes, what they get sanctions on them, and what they have the U.S. military or these European militaries invade them and overthrow their sovereign ruler to set up puppets. It's going to be no different with this CHIP. If you don't want to accept it and be a part of this system, you're going to be financially killed that they may neither buy nor sell, and you're eventually going to be faced with being physically killed, being put to death for not going along with it. Again, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, convenience, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, that to everyone that did not want to worship the image of the beast, they should be killed. Consumers and biometrics. Touch ID debuted in September 2013, but most smartphone users were introduced to biometrics in person sometime later, less than 10 years ago for most of us. In the intervening time, the use of a PIN as a way to unlock a smartphone has become old-fashioned to many. Again, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Convenience, making everything more simple to you, but really just making you more dependent and locked into this system. Consumers are also becoming used to using biometrics in other settings. In 2024, consumers will see a wider availability of biometric identity verification solutions offered by commercial entities to verify the identity of the individual when transacting, buying and selling, either in person or online, than ever before. Commercial use of biometric technology now span across fingerprint, iris, and facial recognition modalities to ensure the individual is the same one who initially enrolled in a service such as grocery store checkout, buying and selling, or amusement park season passes. As consumers repeat processes like taking a selfie or scanning a fingerprint to complete a purchase instead of entering a number sent in a text message, they will see the benefits of replacing other tedious, ineffective procedures. And one place where Americans are clearly looking to replace those processes is the airport environment. Biometrics have long been a consideration in the standards for passports and are widely used to connect individuals to their digital ID around the world. It is little surprise, therefore, that as states issue MDLs to provide digital ID to their residents, they are simply implementing them with biometric standards in mind. The MDL allows for the verification of a person's identity to a trusted government-issued source, along with additional option of extending the verification to make use of biometric facial a one-to-one match with a selfie. And what's this talking about? Your biometrics are all your personal identification, being on your phone right now, and then eventually that CHIP. And when we go, into the root words for that word mark, which is charagma, let's see what it has to say. Strong's G5480, charagma, which is the actual CHIP, a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the, so-called Antichrist, which the Antichrist isn't a singular person like Damien from the Omen. The Antichrist is a spirit out here. Pretty much anything that's against, Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, the Hamashiach, or the anointed. So the anti-Hamashiachium. But when we go to the Strong's info, what does it say? The same as G5482, a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp. And how do they get that charagma in you? They scratch or etch into your skin with that syringe, which is what the root word charax, G5482, is. A pale or stake, a palisade. And this is, again, talking about that syringe, which, they stake into your skin. When they put that charagma in you, what? They lay claim to you as their property, as their territory. And then when we go to the root word for charax, as it says, from charasso to sharpen to a point, akin to G1125 through the idea of scratching. And G1125 is grapho. And when we go to the outline of biblical usage, we'll read a few of these. The first one says to write with reference to the form of the letters. We'll jump down to Roman numeral 2, to write with reference to the contents of the writing. Here's the main one I wanted to get to. Number 2 under Roman numeral 2, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Write down, record, like what? Your personal identification, your biometrics, your fingerprint or your palm or, your iris. And then eventually what? All your biometrics, all your grapho on your charagma so they can easily identify who you are. Digital IDs and airports. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has been a pioneer in the acceptance of mobile digital identities, helping to make the travel experience quicker. Dedicated TSA lanes now exist at several airports for encouraging passengers to use their mobile digital credential. And so just like they've got Amazon One at Whole Foods, they've already got the infrastructure, for these digital IDs, ultimately that charagma set up. They just need the right catalyst to, fully roll it out and then mandatorily implement it, which could be a whole host of things. Cyber attacks, economic collapse, EMPs, another pestilence, bringing about another LOCK down. Hey, get this so we know that you've got your Pokemons for this pestilence, etc., etc. The next step for U.S. digital IDs. Then there are trials for other applications like retail purchases and age verification for alcohol or tobacco purchases, as in Charleston, South Carolina, and Nevada, respectively. In the latter case, the privacy of the individual is protected by the ability of the digital ID to provide a yes/no answer to an inquiry if the person is old enough to make the purchase, while the retailer gets assurance that the ID is not fake. The next step is production rollouts, where trials have happened and more trials in other locations and by other retailers. With these pilots, digital ID adoption and use will grow rapidly this year, starting with air travelers. And in that clip brothers have been using of K-Schwab, where he was talking about how people are going to get C-hips in them. It came out in 2017, and they said, over the next 10 years, they wanted it fully rolled out. So in 2024, what would be, fill out that 10 years from 2017, 2027. Hey, though, with the way things are moving, and Abaratazah, this is the case, it happens much sooner than that. But again, as it said in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, though it tarry, wait for it will surely come. It will not tarry, and the vision is no longer tarrying. With these pilots, digital ID adoption and use will grow rapidly this year, starting with air travelers. The most consequential outcome of this change in public experience may eventually be real progress towards the creation of strong legislative guardrails for biometric use. Hey, these government entities, legislating it and putting it on the books. Again, a part of that image of the beast, the political aspects of it. You won't be able to escape. The only way you'll be able to escape is what? Being of the elect of the nation of Israel, and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai having that protective hedge over you so that you can make it through the hour of temptation, which is coming to test everyone. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shabbat Shalom.